3 coplanar points, and bam, there's the radius of the Earth.
The way I phrase it is a monument to the curvature of the Earth. It really is. It really is.
And bam, there's the radius of the Earth.
I guarantee if you do this test properly and you sight down them, you'll see a drop. Absolutely.
The water level will drop, you think?
From horizontal.
Right, yeah, that's what Jesse Kozlowski said.
Yeah, he's right. Don't go quiet, what happened?
What?
For you there.
Have you...
everything went quiet for a sec.
Have you, muted DP?
Oh yeah, I've got him blocked and muted and whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, just talk shit, so...
Well, he was asking that, over a mile, what would happen to the water level from the horizontal?
Yeah, so from one end it will drop 8 inches to the other end.
Okay. And then what would happen if you were to go over to that other end and look back?
Yeah, then you've got a new horizontal.
Yeah, and
drop 8 inches.
it will drop from that horizontal back again.
Horizontal to the horizontal. And the other end is the same, they're not parallel.
It's the same horizontal, isn't it? No, it's not.
You know this is how a globe works.
Unblock DP, please. He's telling you it's one horizontal.
If he
One
does
end
though,
to the other.
again.
Right, Rufus, are you coming here to sort out what we need?
Yeah, you got to show that. So your 3 water levels, A to B and B to C, how they're parallel. How are you going to demonstrate it?
What, with the test?
Okay, how are we going to demonstrate it in the test?
Geometry. But I mean, no, there's nothing. It's just put the water in. No, I mean that's obviously what we're going to be doing this next year. Is explaining the basics of the geometry and how it works and all of that. You know them numbers that you gave us. You know, you said that if the test was done correctly, then it would be able to measure curvature. That's what you said, right?
Yeah.
Right, now, would done correctly mean the numbers that you gave us would be the numbers that we will find measuring curvature?
Depends. I mean, if you're doing a sight line down from one end of the water level to another, you'd have to take refraction into account, so that'd be a bit different.
So what did you give us them numbers then for? What were they?
They were unrefracted. You're asking for how much drop there would be.
Yeah, we were just talking about the water level, weren't we? You know, we weren't actually talking about refraction or anything. We were just talking about the physical water level.
That's why I gave you unrefracted numbers.
Yeah. So those numbers, are those the numbers that you would expect us to find if we were to, like as you call it, do the test properly? Is that what you're imagining would be there?
Yeah, that would be the physical drop. But then if you were measuring it optically, you'd have to take into account refraction.
Okay. Well, we're not doing any optics. We definitely don't.
I know you're not, because you know if you do, you'll see curvature.
No, we're doing physical measurement, geometry.
Yeah, but how are you demonstrating that A to B is parallel to B to C?
Well, that's what I say. We will sort a presentation based on these things. So when you say if the test was done properly, that's what you imagine the test being done properly. Is when you imagine the test being done properly, is that where your optics come into it?
Yeah, I would sight down it, but I would need to take some measurements as to the refractive index on the day.
Okay, you would sight down the water level. You're still sticking with that.
How are you going to do it?
I just use the water level. I use the water level.
Yeah, but it's your assertion that A and B is parallel to B and C. You haven't demonstrated it.
The geometry will prove that. That's.
No.
Yeah,
We're talking about real world.
Yeah. So
You have to map the real world into geometry and then back again. If you take in the incorrect assumptions, and your assumption that a water level is horizontal is an incorrect assumption, if you take that into the geometry, the results are meaningless.
The results are meaningless now.
Yeah, because you've taken an incorrect assumption into it.
What
You've incorrectly mapped the real world into the geometry.
Sorry? You incorrectly mapped the real world into the geometry, but the geometry is geo, earth, metra, measurement. So, what is that you're talking about, please?
You have a real world problem that you've got to solve, and then you're going to like take it into geometry and like draw a diagram or whatever. If you translate from the real world into geometry incorrectly, your result is just going to be bullshit.
What are you saying?
So if you take this assertion,
real world into geometry.
If you take this
geometry
assertion,
is Earth measurement. So how do you translate a measurement taken in reality into geometry?
What are you
talking about?
If you take your assertion that water levels give you a horizontal into your geometry, and that assertion's wrong, your results will, be bullshit.
This is what we are doing the test to show that level is horizontal.
So you're going to demonstrate that A to B is parallel to B to C. Is that what you're going to demonstrate?
I'm going to demonstrate within the test that you obviously don't understand yet, and we are going to do a presentation for.
Well, it's not my fault that I don't understand it, Bev. It's really not my fault.
No? Well, as I say, we have to obviously make it even more simple, and we will simplify it much more for you.
Idiots like me, Bev.
We will do a presentation to show what the test is and how it will prove that level is horizontal through geometry.
Do you want to do that now? Do you want to explain it now? How are you going to show that A to B is parallel to B to C?
No, it's obvious that the methods of talking and doing that isn't the way to discuss these things with you. We have already been over this multiple times with multiple people.
And yet I don't have an answer for it.
But yeah, we do. We just say level is horizontal. What is it that you don't understand? Well, how do you assert? What are you asserting? Are you asserting that level isn't horizontal?
I guarantee if you do this test properly and you sight down them, you'll see a drop. Absolutely.
The water level will drop. You think?
From horizontal.
Right, yeah, that's what Jesse Kozlowski said.
Yeah, you're right.
But the water...
Hang on, Bev, can I prove it? So if there's a horizontal over a mile, what will happen to the water level from that horizontal?
Don't go quiet, what happened?
Ruhi, are you there?
Has everything gone quiet for a second?
Have you muted DP?
Oh yeah, I've got him blocked and muted and whatever. Yeah, he just talks shit, so...
Well, he was asking that over a mile, what would happen to the water level from the horizontal?
Yeah, so from one end it will drop 8 inches to the other end.
Okay. And then what would happen if you were to go over to that other end and look back?
Yeah, then you've got a new horizontal.
Yeah, and
drop 8 inches.
It'll drop from that horizontal back again.
A different horizontal to the horizontal at the other end. They're not parallel.
Yeah, it's the same horizontal, isn't it?
No,
it's not.
They're different ones. Come on, Bev. You know this is how globe works.
Yeah. Unblock me.
Yeah, you can unblock DP, please. He's telling you it's one horizontal.
If he
one end
though,
to the other.
Ruhif, it is one horizontal. It is only one horizontal plane that has been established.
At one end, yes. At one end.
No,
as soon as you move.
One horizontal plane, Ruhif.
As soon as you move, you have a different vertical and therefore a different horizontal.
That's bullshit.
Basic globe stuff.
Ruhif, that is absolute horse shit.
That's how a globe works.
Well,
I'm upside down to you guys now. Yes, right.
you certainly fucking are, mate.
Yeah. So our horizontals might actually be parallel.
Your
Depending
head
where you
is
are.
upside down through here.
Yes.
He lives in Australia. He thinks he's upside down.
Are we accepting then that a water level establishes a level parallel line?
I would say water levels do not establish a horizontal node. It's only over short distances that you get exceptionally close to horizontal. But it doesn't matter for all practical purposes.
What does it establish then?
An equal sea level. And on a globe, that sea level is a curve.
You said level is horizontal, Ruben.
Yeah, and I told you many, many times there are two contexts in which I use the word level.
Yeah.
One is with an auto level, which establishes a horizontal plane. The other is in the context of sea level. And on a globe, sea level is curved. So for the 40th time, Bev, stop equivocating.
So, hold on. You just said that if we establish a level line with horizontal line with a water level, then
It's not perfect, no.
it would drop away from it, yeah?
Yeah, because it's not a perfect horizontal. Water levels do not establish a perfect horizontal. Auto levels do. Or as accurate as they are.
Okay, let's if we've established it with a water level, then that water level would have to be following the curvature of the Earth, would it not?
Yeah, exactly. And if you have a water level that's 6 feet long, there's going to be fuck all curvature, right? So it's going to be close enough to horizontal to be fine. But if you have a mile-long water level, it's going to drop 8 inches.
What we need to do is set a level with an water level and see if the water level drops from that level, yeah?
Exactly, yes.
If we prove that, you become a flat earther, yeah?
I would demand refraction measurements be taken in the middle just to make sure we're not getting extreme refraction. But yeah, that would show a flat Earth.
Good man, you're on side.
Yes.
We need millionaires on our side.
So to you, Ruhif, you know the physical aspect of a water level.
Yeah.
Does that not count for anything, or is that the curved one, the one that drops away?
What do you mean? Say it again.
The physical aspect of a water level, right? Establishing a what do you call it?
Establishes equal elevation.
Even altitude.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Even altitude, right?
Yes.
As in not elevation, like altitude.
Neither's fine.
So you realise that it being at an altitude, an even altitude, means it's not a tangent. It can't be a tangent, even if you imagine the surface is a sphere. If it's at an altitude, it's away from... do you know anything about concentric circles?
Yeah, like the tangents would be parallel.
Would you call that parallel? Because it gets bigger, the arc.
Do I think concentric circles
The
are
arc
parallel?
of the circle isn't the same, is it?
It's a bigger radius. Like, what are you trying to say?
Well, like could you call them parallel to a curve in a circle with different... It's like concentric circles. I mean...
Can I call concentric circles parallel?
Yeah, I would say, like, if you were to have a water level that had that sort of curvature in it, then that curvature rate would differ the further you went away from the surface, wouldn't it? I mean, it wouldn't have the same curvature rate, would it?
If you held a water level extremely high off the surface, would it be more than 8 inches per mile squared, or different to 8 inches per mile squared?
I don't know. I'm asking you. Would you imagine it to be more or less?
It'd be different.
Or would it be different?
It'd be less, wouldn't it? Yeah. You've got to get pretty
So
far into that, right?
well, I don't know. I mean, if you're talking spherical geometry, then you're talking about the two-dimensional surface of the sphere. If you add any altitude to that, you have to make a new two-dimensional surface of the sphere, don't you? I mean, that's the way it works.
Given
Because
we're not going to do
it's a
this,
two-dimensional surface.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, giving you some of the problems within your geometry. Like, because I don't have that problem. When I do a measurement, I don't have that calculation problem that you do.
Yeah, but it's negligible, so why bother?
You do realise that geometry, like pretty basic geometry, is the study of line and form. Right, and you can tell the difference between a straight line and a curved line. And you would normally use geometry to do that very particular task, wouldn't you?
Sure.
Yeah.
So you going, Bev?
Well, straight line or curved. I mean, you can definitely tell, can't you, within measurements, whether it's a straight line or a curve. Right, you'll give us that, won't you?
That we can tell the difference between a straight line and a curve.
Yeah.
How about make a point, Bev?
I'm just confirming with you. I mean, this is one of the things. We're going to be doing a presentation about our test.
Yeah. How are you going to show that A to B is parallel to B to C?
No, we're going to say, can you tell the difference between a straight line and a curve? And would you use geometry to do that?
Sure.
Okay. Brilliant.
You're asking like ridiculous gotcha questions that you're going to somehow...
No. These are just confirmation questions. Like, they're not gotchas or anything. We're just having a chat. I'm trying to sort out what I need to put within this test and, within the presentation that would convince you that, this is a true fact, a statement of fact that level is horizontal.
What you need to do? You need to demonstrate that AB is parallel to BC.
That water is level, right? I mean, that's the level is horizontal.
You say water is level, and then I say water is sea level.
Sea level.
But I don't say water is horizontal.
Sea level is mean sea level is the datum that we establish to find elevation from, right, on the land, and also altitude from, right? Because if you're at an altitude, the altitude goes to mean sea level, doesn't it?
Yep.
So that's your datum, the mean sea level. And then every bit of altitude or elevation is a vertical distance from that, right? The level can be at 51 feet elevation, can't it? In reference to the sea level.
Yeah, and if you're on a curve and the other end of the water level is a decent distance away, it will also be 51 feet.
Level is horizontal, right?
Well, again, are you going to equivocate on me or not?
What do you mean equivocate?
Because as soon as I say level is horizontal, you're going to say, therefore...
You already said level is horizontal.
I've told you a dozen times there are two contexts of the word level.
Well, one of them, right, has salt water in it, and the other one has fresh water. That's your difference, isn't it? The salt.
No, one of them is curved, sea level is curved, and auto level is not curved.
What about a water level?
A water level is curved because it follows the same...
Right, so where's the clarification that a water level curves or a normal level... when they made levels and they thought, wow, this is getting a bit tedious, us carrying this water around and digging trenches and doing all that sort of stuff. Perhaps we should make a tool for doing this that makes it a bit easier. So maybe see if we can do it optically, then we can carry it round. That's a brilliant idea, someone says. Well, we just need to make sure it's horizontal, right? Well, I mean, your level, don't make it level, because the water level that it's meant to be replacing is obviously drops at 8 inches away from the horizontal. So let's make this new tool do something to replace the old tool didn't. Do you reckon he did that? Or do you reckon they just tried to get a water level replacement that did exactly the same thing?
It doesn't do exactly the same
It
thing.
is, a water level's more accurate over longer distances.
Except it does not give you a horizontal. And if you did your test, you would see that.
Right, so you are still predicting over a mile, an 8-inch drop from the start position of the water level.
Yes, an unrefracted physical drop, yes.
Okay. And that's from both ends.
Yeah, if you go to the other end, you've got a different
No,
drop.
yeah, that is as much as I need to prove geometrically, right, that the water level from your side is ridiculous. But I mean, yeah, I think you've got, like, those numbers that you gave us when you say drop, constant drop. Does that still apply for the Sagitta?
The Sagitta is in the hump in the middle.
Yeah.
If you sight down from one end of the water level to the other.
Yeah, I told you that we're not sighting it. We're using it as a physical tool. Yeah, physical.
How are you demonstrating that AB is parallel to BC?
I was just asking. When you say it drops 8 inches over the mile, obviously it's not a slope, is it? I mean, the water counts. Right. Okay. So there is the hump, the Sagitta, in your mind, is still there, right?
Yeah, but it's just a rotated view.
Yeah, well, obviously, the 8-inch over the mile would be classed as a chord, and the Sagitta would still be there, right?
Yeah, then you just rotate it.
So those numbers that you gave us, right, could be measured either as the drop or the hump, because I think we had somebody come round.
Yeah, you can. It was 2 inches, wasn't it? It was 2 inches unrefracted, and I've got to work out what it was refracted.
Refracted bits, don't worry about us. We're talking about the actual physical.
If you're not going to optically sight it, then how are you going to demonstrate the
physically measure? Physically measure.
How are you going to physically measure it?
Using the water level.
Your assertion is that they give you horizontal.
No, we're just going to use geometry to prove and show you that a water level establishes
geometry, you're going
horizontal
to
plane of
assertion. You're going to take that assertion into your geometry, aren't you? Yes.
And we're going to be looking for the numbers that you gave us, Ruhi.
Yeah, and how are you going to measure them? You're going to measure them with your assertion, which is wrong.
With a water level.
Yeah, which does not give you horizontal.
Well, the test will show, right?
Well, how is it going to show it? That's what I keep asking you, and you keep dodging it.
Well, you'll see.
Okay.
I'll
so
show
you haven't actually done it yet then? You've got no idea how to do it. That's good.
Pardon?
You can either show me now or you haven't done it. You said you'll see.
Yeah, because I...
Yeah, so you can't explain it because you cannot.
No, I'm going to sort a presentation out just for you, Ruhi.
Okay.
I mean, I've tried to explain this to people, but you've not quite got it yet, obviously.
Oh, I think I saw one of your explanations, and it was to cut out the middle water level and put two like half-length water levels in. Was that it?
The one with the
yeah.
Like
you've got the same problem. Like it's
right. I think I explained this once. Right, let's draw a line. Let's have two ends of a water level.
Pull your whiteboard out, babe. Come on.
No, I've got
Pardon me.
to explain the test. It'd blow your mind. I can't go on it yet. So you've got a line, and let's go. It goes from A to B. It's a water level, and at each end of that, you've got the water, and it's levelled itself out, right? and then you put a bit in the middle.
It's sea level that's about, sure. Yep.
What?
Just clarifying the water level, Bev.
With the water level, it just
Yes.
it establishes a even altitude, yeah?
Elevation altitude, yes.
Yeah.
Which on a globe is curved.
No, not an elevation altitude, just altitude. Just an even altitude, because it's
And on
away
a
from
globe that's curved, right?
it's away from the surface. Right, so in the middle, then we're going to put another bit in. So let's call B in the middle, and then so you've got A one side, B in the middle, and C at the other end. So now, when you draw a line from A, B, C, and in fact, there's 3 points there in there, A, B, C, 3. Right. So
When you say B, you mean like tap
when
in
you
water
join
level?
all of the lines up of where the water levels meet, you know, like where the water levels in the vials, or where, you know, just the water level really on the tube. When you draw straight lines between all of those points, 3 points, make a triangle, do you? Or do you make a straight line?
You make a bent line because B would be higher than C.
I said just draw lines. You draw.
Yeah, it's not a straight line between A, B, and C.
Draw bent lines. You've only got 3 points, right? So you've only got 3 points. So if you draw lines between them, then that's 3 straight lines, right?
If you draw a line,
I'd say
A
they're
and
all
B,
on the same straight line.
Yeah, do the test and find out, eh?
Personally, but you would have not a triangle. You would have, well, would you always use curved lines when you were drawing the lines?
That line between A, B, and C will be a curve, yes.
Oh, so you have 3 points, and if you join all 3 points with each other, you would make a curved line rather than a triangle.
Make a triangle if you want, sure.
I just need to know what you're imagining.
Yeah, it won't be a straight line between A, B, and C.
If you draw, see, you've only got 3 points. If you draw lines between them, they are straight lines, right? Because you've only done 3 points.
If you draw a line between A, B, B, C, and AC, yes, you'll get a triangle.
Brilliant.
It will not be a straight line
So
between
your
A to C.
understanding of geometry is good, but your initial response was to say that curved, wasn't it?
Yeah, it will be a curve in reality, yeah. If you tap in, infinite locations into that water level, yeah, it'd be a curve.
With the point in the middle being higher than the other 2 ends that are, but you've also got a drop from one end to the other.
Yeah, you just rotate your view. If you're standing at A, that's your
You know, rotating your view will do fuck all to a water level, right?
I understand.
Yeah, good. Okay. So well, I think we're about ready to start next year with the Dark Horse, right? Basic geometry. It's going to be fun.
Are you going to demonstrate that AB is parallel to BC?
I'll show you how a water level works and it establishes a horizontal plane of reference.
Yeah, that's your assertion. That's your assertion. Are you going to demonstrate it?
Yeah.
How?
By showing you how closely, surveying and practical tools relate to geometry.
Over what distance? 100 metres?
I'll do. Since you gave us the numbers, and what did you have? 3.1 mil over 200 metres?
It was less than a mil. It was less than a mil over 100 metres.
You said 1 mil. Somebody corrected you.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Approximately a millimetre. Happy?
Well, I mean, like you rounded it up to a millimetre. I mean, yeah, okay. But over the 200 metres, you had what? 3.1.
Something like that. Is your auto level going to be accurate enough to do that?
Auto level.
Over 200 metres.
Auto level.
Yeah, how are you going to test that your water level gives you a horizontal?
Geometry.
I know you know this, but
Water level. It's a practical tool.
yeah, you're going to take that assertion into your geometry and it will be meaningless.
What if I could show you through the geometry?
Oh, this is getting a bit comical.
Yeah, but you realise that you get your proofs through geometry.
I realise geometry is incredibly useful, yes. Yeah.
So
but you
we
have
could
to, like I
use
said,
geometry
you have
to
real
show
world
you
correctly.
that it's a straight line or a curve, right?
You have to translate your real world problem into geometry correctly. If you fail to do that, your results are, useless.
Yeah, straight line or a curve line, right? So we start off with the basic understanding of a straight line. Don't we?
Okay. And
well, then we establish a tool to establish that straight line.
Is it horizontal? Is it perpendicular to a vertical at one end?
If it's a tool that is said to establish a horizontal plane of reference, then we should be using it. What if somebody says it isn't?
Then they have to demonstrate it.
The person that says it isn't has to demonstrate it.
Yeah, and I can demonstrate the water level curves. I can show you the water curves.
But you can show me that a water level, the tool.
I can show you the sea level curves. I don't have a mile-long water level.
No, we're talking about a water level.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Which will effectively be the same as an ocean, right? You'll have the same behaviour.
You've got your mate Slice Barkane. You helped fund his test. Is this what you're talking about now? Is this how you?
I think there are. Sorry, just one second. I think there are any tides in the water level at all.
No.
Anything like that.
No, let's not go off track here, right? I'm just saying, like, the test that you funded with Slice Barkane. Is this how you are going to assert your claim that a water level doesn't establish a horizontal plane of reference? Because it's you that is making that claim, right? I'm just stating the facts, known facts, that a water level is a tool for establishing a horizontal plane of reference. You are the one saying, no, it isn't. So I think you should be the one to get Slice Barkane to get his test to prove that there is a drop in the water level from horizontal.
That's what his test will do.
Yeah, good.
Excellent. And it's going to sight down it with either a camera or an auto level. And you're going to go, you can't do that because it shows curvature. That's what's going to happen.
No. If that's how you intend, or you think that you can disprove the fact that a water level establishes a horizontal plane of reference, then yeah, that'd be great.
My proof for establishing that a water level does not give you horizontal is A, the ocean on a globe will curve. B, water levels will have the same behaviour as the ocean. And C, we know in reality that there is water curves.
You're all based on an assertion of a ball, right?
I need to post that photo in the chat again with 13 metres of missing boat.
I don't know. You think that's going to prove that a water level does not establish a horizontal plane of reference?
Okay. Would water levels follow the same behaviour as the ocean?
A water level establishes a horizontal plane of reference, and
it's not. That's your assertion.
No, it's not my assertion. It's your assertion that it does not. No, I don't have to.
If you're going to use your assertion in your geometry, then you have to make sure that your assertion is valid.
Okay, so that you're saying, how should we assert it best? Like, is there any professionals that you would take? I don't know. Who can we like? Because I'm sure it's a tool that establishes a horizontal plane of reference. I mean,
I'm sure it's
I think it's pretty much stated everywhere. I don't think it says anything about how long a water level can be before it stops being horizontal?
In fact, it says it's more accurate over distance.
How long is your water level, Bev?
How long is
Like you've got a
the
water level
longest
in your room,
water
right?
level you've ever seen? Huh?
How long is the one that you have in your... What do you call your room? Your study?
Study. Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, my study.
Yeah. Sounds wicked.
Yeah. Well, one of them's 100 metres, and the other one is also 100 metres, and I've got one in the back that's also 100 metres.
Bam. How much drop is there over?
Bam! Like you're the drop. You give us the numbers.
Yeah, I'm doing it. Hold on.
You doing it?
Drop. It is geometrically. It is 0.78 millimeters.
Oh.
So do you think that's good enough for like a construction site?
Pardon?
Do you think an error of 0.78 millimeters is good enough for a construction site?
What do you mean? Like is that a standard error? Right, because
That's the amount of drop over 100 meters.
But so you're saying the standard drop of level over 100 meters, are you? Or are you saying the standard drop of a water? Are you separating a water level from a level? Are you saying they're different?
If you had a perfect auto level, you would see a difference.
Perfect one. Where'd you get one of them from? What's a perfect auto?
Obviously, that's my point, Bev, is that over 100 meters, 0.78 millimeters, is nothing if you're building a bridge or a house or whatever.
What?
That is my point. It's accurate enough over small distances.
Nah, if you want level, right? You don't want 0.78.
Do you want the
like
same,
so
same sea level?
that 0.78, right? Can I just ask another clarification? That 0.78, what is that deviation of? You say level, but
From horizontal at the
right. So you want,
end.
yeah, but you said the auto level is level, right?
Yeah.
Right. So there's two different levels there, is there?
One establishes a horizontal. That is the auto level. A water level does not establish a horizontal. It establishes the same height of water above sea level.
An even altitude.
Yes, that's a good phrase.
You know,
yes.
yeah. Merriam-Webster calls that even altitude horizontal condition.
And I would say that it's wrong then.
Oh, well, you said it was good. You liked it.
Sure.
Yeah.
And again, do you want to argue about definitions again?
No, I mean, I've never argued about definitions. I mean, they're meaningless to you. I mean, we all know that.
We decide.
So there's
We
pointless
decide what they
arguing
mean.
about what you do.
No, you and I decide what words mean. A dictionary does not. A dictionary does not dictate to people. We dictate to the dictionary.
Wow. So it's popular opinion then.
Basically, yeah.
Brilliant.
It's consensus on how words are used.
Yeah, I like it.
You guys are taking this massive argument from authority, and I thought that was, not what Flat Earth is about, right?
No, we're not taking this massive argument from authority. This is logic, dude.
The dictionary is authoritative.
We just do logic here. We use the dictionary to go, let's have a look what that word means. Well, yep, that seems to make sense. Now, can we clarify that? And can we prove that? Because we know people dick around with words all the time, especially the dictionary. I mean, they have you meaning all sorts of different things.
Brian, what do you show?
Showing some control for that.
All right,
He's
okay, cool.
That's what I told you I'd got one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like the headset he's got. That's the phone one. Yeah. That plugs into your phone. Yeah.
Just ask Rudy the question.
Yeah.
Has he still got me muted?
No, I have unmuted you for this session. We'll see how you go.
Oh, well done. I'm proud of you, Ruhi. Proud.
Don't spoil it.
So, if you don't adhere to definitions and definitions don't mean anything to you, how do you have conversations with people, and how do they know what you're talking? Do you know what they're talking about?
Yeah, we have to agree what words mean. The dictionary does not tell you what words mean.
We have books for this, Ruhi.
Yeah,
this agreement has been laid down and put into books. Do you not appreciate that these books actually work and have definitions for words in them?
I understand what a dictionary is. It does
you
not
don't.
prescribe. No, I don't think you do.
You don't
Dictionaries
understand what a dictionary is.
do not prescribe.
Everybody agrees to the meanings in the dictionary, apart from you.
Got a question for you. Do you agree that the word literal can now be used to mean figurative? It's in the dictionary.
Why are you obfuscating? Why are you going off into the
Because
weeds?
I'm trying to make a point.
But you don't agree to the definitions in dictionaries. These books are put together as an agreement for the definitions of words.
Yeah, I don't have to. They're not prescriptive. They describe how people...
So it's only you that isn't agreeing. It's only you that has the problem with the definitions. Everybody else agrees with the definitions.
That's fine. You can use a word.
So why the fuck should we care what you think?
If we are trying to convey our ideas to each other, we have to agree.
Why should we care if you don't agree to the ascribed definitions in the dictionaries?
We can't have a conversation. We can't have a conversation unless we agree on what the words and how they're used.
We agree, Ruhi. It's you that doesn't.
Sure, then let's find another word that we do agree on.
No, because we have an agreement of consensus. And it is written in a book.
Oh, the book's authority, right?
No, I didn't say that. But we have a consensus of opinion. And you want to change the definition to suit your needs and wants.
I just want us to agree on how to use a particular word.
We have an agreement. You don't agree with that agreement, Ruhi. It's not our problem. It's your problem.
I've explained many times what I mean.
Don't give a fuck about your explanation. It's written in a book.
What's the point of conversation?
Well,
and you're giving authority to that
interested.
book. Alright, back to mute. CTP.
You twat. You absolute fucking arsehole, Ruhi.
That was a nice twat.
Yeah.
I just got half the twat and then mute, so
yeah, chicken shit bowl of piss, Ruhi.
He can't hear you, DP.
Hold on.
Yeah, I know.
Hold on. I think the time for talking has passed. We need to go and do this test and get results.
Well, I'll do the presentation, bro. I mean, it's pretty obvious that there is not only a definitional sort of thing, because Ruhif seems to be mad keen on his own definitions. I know he won't define his own definitions, and he won't go with the standard definitions. It just assumes that he's correct about
making an argument for authority.
Who is? No, you're just obfuscating Ruhif, right?
Treating the dictionary as authoritative.
Ruhif.
We are authoritative.
Ruhif. Yes, but we're talking about the definitions of words like level, horizontal, straight, perpendicular, parallel. Right? That's what we're talking about.
Generally we'll agree.
They're all geometric terms. They're not sort of, I don't decide to go with the meanings of that shit because I'm a super special person. You don't do that.
Same question to you. The word literal is now in the dictionary to mean figurative. Do you agree with that definition?
I don't give a shit. They're not trying to redefine level, or they aren't yet. You are. It seems like you are leading the cause for redefining the word level to mean curved, Ruhif. And
sea level is
I
correct.
don't understand why you're trying to do that. Level is observably and practically horizontal. Doesn't have a
Water
curve.
level gives you
It
a horizontal,
doesn't
yeah.
drop 8 inches over a mile. It
Do
just
test
doesn't. It just literally
test?
doesn't. But you see that what you imagine that drop of 8 inches being the same elevation, don't you?
Yes.
Yes. The same elevation from
The Earth is a
what?
globe.
The same elevation from what?
Sea level.
Right, but sea level is not. Is that a different level? Because you said level is horizontal, so that would literally mean sea horizontal. Right, when you represent, level. Level is horizontal, right? So you just change the word level for horizontal. Practically, that's how it is. It's used practically horizontal.
I opened a can of Sprite 5 hours ago. It's still sitting on my table. Is my Sprite flat?
Fuck
Yes or
off,
no?
Ruth, you twat. You're a fucking idiot.
Answer that. We've been through this a dozen times.
No, I'm
your test.
answering you, Ruth, but you're too much of a dickweed.
Demonstrate how you're going to
have me off
have
mute.
demonstrate that A to B is parallel to B to C.
He's got you muted, mate.
Yeah, I know he has.
Yeah, I can do that, Ruhif.
Okay.
Yes, geometrically. But people that don't believe in straight lines are correct don't understand geometry and the principles it gives us, fundamentals it gives us.
Okay, let's get some figures out of him. Ruhif, quarter of a mile, 402 metres. How much drop should we witness?
402 metres. Hang on. 0.402. Geometric drop. Is that 12 millimetres? Yeah, 12.7 millimetres.
12.7 millimetres. Can we measure that, Bev, over a quarter of a mile?
Over a quarter of a mile, we'd need two of us with 400 metres to measure it as a sagitter, as a difference between two of us. So it'd need two people with the 400 metre water level test. But I mean,
But it can be measured though, yeah?
Yeah, we could measure, Bri, at the 200 metre one of 3.1 millimetres, because the water level is that accurate, right? So 3.1 millimetres will be able to be measured over 200, which would mean all you need is 400 metres. So thanks, really, for giving us the numbers.
200 metres.
How?
Bev, how much tube we got?
I've got 300 metres, but I mean, I need another 200 for this one. But I mean, I'll do this 200 metre test. I mean, beginning of the year, hey, Ruth. I'll put it into the presentation.
With a link for the tube. Let's get another couple hundred metres of tube, and we're just going to go and prove this one fucking way or the other.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to do it over like 100 or 200 metres. Your accuracy of your water level is going to not be accurate enough.
What auto level are you talking about, dickhead?
200 metres.
Well, how are you demonstrating that AB is parallel to BC?
Geometry, water level.
Yeah. In
practical
reality.
tools.
Reality.
We do it in reality, you dickhead.
Okay, then show me
Can we
reality
get him to
how AB is parallel to
parallel
BC.
to? Because he's saying how is AB
In reality.
parallel to BC?
Yeah, you'd say in parallel to. How do you define parallel to?
You're asking me parallel.
Yeah, because you have to agree on your definitions, right? How do you define parallel to?
That'll do.
What?
I know what
That'll
my
do.
parallel is, but I'm asking what
Good night.
he
Yeah.
is defining his parallel as.
Yeah, DP's asking, please define parallel. I mean, we need to know, because it has to be agreed upon by you. So, in order... Pardon?
He's run away.
Oh, I see.
What? Fuck's sake. He's a little funny, and dear, oh dear. Was that recorded?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Excellent. Ruhiv, every time he comes here, he digs.
Like water.
From horizontal.
Now you put water into a cup.
it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. The water can flow, or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
I guarantee if you do this test properly and you sight down them, you'll see a drop. Absolutely.
Be water, my friend. The water level will drop. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put in a teapot, it becomes the teapot.
Yeah, that's what Jesse Kozlowski said.
Yeah.
Water, my friend.
From horizontal.
Like water. Now you put water into a cup.
From horizontal.
It becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. The water can flow, or it can crash.
The water level will drop, you think?
From horizontal.
Right, yeah, that's what Jesse Kozlowski said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's right.
3 coplanar points, and bam, there's the raise to the earth.
The way I phrase it is a monument to the curvature of the earth. It really is. It really is.
And bam, there's the raise to the earth.
Yeah. I would say that a water level of any distance is not establishing a perfect level or a theoretically perfect level.
Horizontal.
Because the earth is curved. My interactions with Sly have been pretty pleasant. I think he's a good guy. So I gave him some cash to do his experiment.
We're doing the test, Ruhi.
Yeah.
Right?
You guys are lying sacks of shit.
You chuck some money at our test? Go on.
Say again?
Chuck some money at our test? Go on.
What we do?
No. Chuck some money at you. No.
No, at the test. The way you did. Support us the way that you supported him.
At the moment, it looks like a completely useless test.
Well, it's exactly the same.
It's just
way
to show
the
that
slides
level is
turned out then,
horizontal.
isn't it?
Right?
Oh no, Slides was designed to expose curvature if it's there.
And
he
it's
didn't.
none of that.
He failed at even being able to do the test.
Yeah, that's fine. Still got the equipment, I think.
Yeah, he's still not doing the test, is he? And you're here asking me about my test. Wow, what a turnaround!
I understand.
What a
I
turnaround!
understand
That is
Slides.
a complete turnaround, isn't it?
Okay.
He can't get any.
it.
Ruhif can't get any information out of the guy that he
Right.
financially backed to do a test, and he's come here trying to get information out of a guy that he is ridiculing about the test he's doing.
Yeah, and the one that Sly keeps making videos about how this is a
How
fraud.
ridiculous are you,
curvature.
Ruhif? How ridiculous are you?
Actually, Ruhif, would you like to comment on how you think this is a
I'm just trying to get a
fraud?
sentence out, actually.
How is this a fraud?
I understand that Sly's test would have exposed curvature if it was there. I haven't seen how yours will.
Expose curvature.
Curvature.
Yeah, if yours is meant
Who said anything about curvature, Ruhif?
I'm just showing.
That was my question.
Well, okay, wait, DP, wait a minute. This test is to show that the water level has an even altitude, even being equal.
Yeah, we agree. So
right. Okay. So how is this a fraud? Please.
If that's what all you're trying to do,
how?
It's just useless.
Ruhif, how is this a fraud?
Because I've seen what you've tried to do previously is carry a 100-meter stretch, 16 times.
That's Sly Sparkane's method, not mine. Sly Sparkane's. Right. Okay. Now here we go. Here is the test.
If your test is
he just called Sly Sparkane a test a fraud. His testing method fraudulent.
So when you get to the end of your, okay, I'm going to have to mute you again because you keep interrupting. Bev,
1/16.
When you get to the end of this test and you have a result, and you say level is horizontal, and everyone says big whoop, but it doesn't prove anything about the shape of the Earth, will you then say yes, it does?
No.
No, okay, I'm going to bed. Right.
Okay, so
I'm going to bed.
that level is horizontal is good for you then, right?
I agree. Level's horizontal. All right,
Sweet.
good night.
Perfect.
Wow.
Nice, mate. I came in
Nice.
just for that.
Yeah. Did you
Level
just
is
come in?
horizontal.
Just now, yep.
Right. He didn't even want us to show the test, did he?
No.
Because do you think it might expose something, or can we leave that as a?
Flip.
Wow. You must be really keen. Like you know, is it because Slice Barkane's test failed so badly?
I didn't know it failed until like months after. I still don't know how exactly it failed, but yeah, sure.
He couldn't find the leaks. Have you not watched the video on it or anything?
No.
No, you just watch Sly's video where he misrepresents what I say. Because, you know, that thing that you think is the test, that was the one that I did at the beginning of when I was going over the surveying for the bridge. Right? And that was just a quick demo to show how surveyors work with an auto level. Just,
Yep.
yeah.
Does your proposed...
Do you think that's my test?
Just
a basic test with an auto level. Is that what you seriously think?
Is your test designed to expose curvature of the Earth, if it is there?
No, dude. The test is to show some people that level is horizontal. All levels. There's nothing any different about any of the levels. They all show a horizontal position, which is parallel to the plane of the horizon. Keep it really simple.
Yeah, we're going to disagree on the definition of the parallel to the horizon bit.
Right, okay, and what about all levels establish a horizontal plane
when
of
you
reference?
say level,
Yep.
yeah, I would say that a water level of any distance is not establishing a perfect level, or a theoretically perfect level.
A horizontal.
Because the Earth is curved. Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go, right? See, this test, right, is specifically designed around the fact that a water level is, or does, establish a horizontal plane of reference, right? See, that's where you would disagree, right?
Yeah,
So that's what this
wrong
test
assumption.
is about.
And it's an incorrect assumption.
Well, you see, the test, right? Now, Slice Barkane has been telling you that my test has something to do with an auto level.
And how are you meant to, Sly's question to you, Brandon's question to you that Sly showed in the video. Have you seen Sly's video?
No, I don't watch Sly's video. No.
Okay, right. So you've got three vials to your water level. So you've got A on the left.
Yeah.
B.
Do you want me to get the board on? Out, because I can.
Yeah, that's right.
Let me so we can camera. First.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Brief, while he's doing that, mate, he asked you about the auto level in the test.
You got a level one test?
Involved in this test that's going on over here.
There has to be some other...
You seem to think that there's some... Is it Sly that's told you that there's an auto level involved in this test, or...?
Bev's assumption is that water levels of any length are equivalent to the horizontal at a single point.
No, listen,
that's not an assumption.
I will say again,
It is
right?
an assumption.
I am going to make a claim, and this is the claim I've made right from day one, right? Level is a straight line on a horizontal plane, right?
Yes.
I
If the Earth is
can
curved,
prove
that's only a
it.
point.
I can prove it.
Yeah, and I can prove that a horizontal at one point is different to a horizontal at another point.
What's a point got to do with it? A horizontal is either a plane or a line. It's not a point.
At a single point.
No. A point's a point. A point is nothing. That is which has no parts. It's not a line. It's not a plane. Okay?
At a single location of some finite size, there is a vertical. Alright? At that location, there is a horizontal.
Yeah.
Alright? At a different
Perpendicular.
location.
Perpendicular line.
Yep.
Yeah.
At
Not
that
a point.
location, yes. Whatever. If we're talking geometry, it's a point. If we're talking the real world, it's a finite place. Whatever, right?
What? No?
As soon as
What?
you move, points don't exist in reality.
Yeah, points don't exist.
So stop fucking around and just.
How can a horizontal be a point then? Because a horizontal does actually exist in reality.
I'm not saying horizontal is a point. I'm saying that in a point, either a theoretical point in geometry or an actual finite space in reality, whether you want to call it a point or a location, whatever, right? At a point, there is a vertical, there is an up and down. At that point, there is a horizontal, which is perpendicular to that. If you move to another point, your vertical is different, so your horizontal is different.
So you're saying you can have perpendicular points can be perpendicular to each other, or you can have a vertical perpendicular to a point. How can you have a vertical perpendicular to a point? How can you have a perpendicular at a point?
You're asking a question, and I'm starting to answer you. Okay? I'm not saying there's something perpendicular to a point. I'm saying at a point, there is a vertical. And a horizontal is perpendicular to that vertical. Okay? Right? As soon as you move, particularly if you move for like a long distance away,
hang on a second. You were talking about the 1 point, and you've just given geometry to lines. Everything you just said is about the lines, no points.
Do you not understand if I'm standing in one
Why
location?
are you doing that? Do you not understand, Ruhif?
Because you're just being fucking obtuse.
Ruhif, everything you just said is about lines.
If I'm standing where I am right now and I drop a plumb bob, that is vertical here. If I move somewhere else, particularly somewhere far away, and drop another plumb bob, those verticals are not parallel.
It's a claim.
It's testable.
Go on then.
I've
Off you
tested
go.
it.
Go and do it.
Yeah, that's my video. I've done it. It's in my video.
Okay.
Of course.
Boom. There we go. We're ready.
Yeah,
I could do with making a brew, and the missus is going to call me in a bit, so I'm going to